take two because I'm such a dickhead that I took a photo instead of taking a video. Brilliant, good start. Right, I was saying, good run in the dark, as you can see. Probably misjudged the temperature. I think it's about 7 degrees out here, and I am sweating to death. You're going to get interrupted by a wagon, sorry, and a car. Here it comes. Noisy. But unfortunately, this is the best place I can find to record under this flipping street lamp. Right, quick summary, and I'll put you all in a better picture later. Basically, this morning I am slightly heavier, bomber, and slightly slower, bomber, but it's not all bad news. And I'm sure both of those aren't bad news either, and I'll explain why later. Just another thought while I walk back, because I missed this bit off, but breathing, check that out. The last two videos were blowing out my arse by the time I got to this point, and today, much better. So fitness wise, cardio wise, definitely making massive improvements. Later. In Wolverhampton now. Obviously the best thing to do after a run is to go for a walk around a park. All joking aside though, to be fair, it is the best thing to do after a run, not necessarily a park, but if I could give you one piece of advice as a new runner, if you are a new runner, is once you've finished your run, the worst possible thing you could do is to sit down and have your legs seize up on you. It is a horrible thing. Keep the blood flowing through the legs. Just go for a gentle walk. It hasn't got to be anything strenuous. It hasn't got to be anything far, you know. Just keep moving for a little bit, and your legs will thank you for it. Or that's what I found anyway over the years. So I'm going to carry on walking around this great park over in Wolverhampton, and I'll talk to you again later. And we're back home anyway. So I said this morning that I'm heavier than last week and slower than last week, and I also said that I'd explain more about that later on today, which is now, strangely enough. So I weigh pretty much the same. I'm 205.4 pounds as of this morning, and am I worried about it? Am I stuff? The reason being is the body fat percentage this week went down to 23.5%. Now, my maths is a little bit rusty because I'm old, according to those around me, but I make that a 1.3% drop from last week, which, like I said in the first video, the aim of the game is not weight loss, the aim of the game is fat loss, and that is a good movement. I'm not convinced it's indicative of where we're going to go. I'm still convinced this is my body settling down from Christmas, and I don't expect that to be a normal week by week loss, and it really shouldn't be, but for now it is what it is. Looking at the running, what I said about the run this morning, slightly slower than last week. The reason for that is that the route I took this week, although it's the same distance and I will run the same distance every single week, last week's route was a touch flatter than this week's route. Now, I live in Telford. When I leave my house and I run, I go up a hill. When I finish my run and I come home, I still go up a hill. It's inevitable. The only flat part of Telford that I know to is the other end of Telford, and I'm damned if I'm going to get in my car and travel to the other side of Telford every week just so I can have a flat run. Besides that, the hills are good. You know, the hills give me a better training edge from what I can see and from past experience, so I'll stick with those. But I've gone back and I've looked at last week's run with regards to the total elevation that I ran, and this week's run was around about 80 feet higher in elevation. So to lose 10 seconds per mile, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that either. So other than that, I think last week I said I was going to stick with my deadlift weight. I was going to keep at it for five sets of 8 reps at this 30 kilos. Well, there's a small story there as well. I got to the gym on Monday. I started the first set and I did 10 comfortably. Second set, 10 comfortably. Third set, still 10 comfortably. I thought, stuff this. Stuck another 10 kilos on the bar and did 10 reps for the fourth set fairly comfortably, and 10 sets for the fifth rep. 10 reps for the fifth set comfortably as well. I knew what I meant there. It was all in there. It's just in the wrong order, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, increased the weight on that. There's a couple of other exercises I've increased the weight on this week, but not to that extent. They've been small, 1 or 2 kilo increments. But yeah, it's been good again. I think we'll carry on pushing forwards with this for the foreseeable. It's pointless me looking at how I weighed this morning and worrying about it. We're a week or a week and a half in at best, and like I said, I think this is me just adjusting to the changes I've made, and there's a couple of nutritional changes with regards to, I've changed the protein powder I was taking. I'm using a different brand. That may or may not have had an effect. My creatine intake has gone back to normal. I sort of let that lapse over Christmas. Again, that's probably drawing the water back into the body, back into the muscles, and it's going to have an effect on overall weight. But I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about overall weight. I'm bothered about the fat loss, and right now the fat loss went well this week. So onwards and upwards. I'll carry on with my regime. I'm halfway through the first stage, so I've got 2 more weeks of the stage I'm on, and then I'm going to hit plan 2 for 4 weeks. So we'll stick with it. We'll carry on pushing the weights, and hopefully we get some more results next week. So I'll sign off now with that, and hopefully more good news next week, or better news. We'll see. Yeah. We'll leave it there. See you next week.